Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Propaganda Loves You special episode. I mentioned this week that Joe has been providing us with some meditation content that we thought the audience might enjoy. And so, if you didn't listen to our episode earlier this week, I just clipped in a portion of Joe talking through what these sessions are, what to kind of get out of them. So, we'll play that really quick, and then we'll get right into the first episode.
There are 4 longer, probably 20 to 25-minute recordings I've done. I'm part of a volunteer group that I think I've mentioned before in the podcast. We volunteer to teach meditation to incarcerated people in the DC area, as well as any community that typically doesn't have access to meditation content. And so as part of that group, the incarcerated people we serve have tablets that they have access to certain media on. Obviously, there's a lot of filtration and control over what they can access on those tablets, but we have the ability to produce meditation content for them and upload it onto their tablet so that they can work with it individually outside of our group sessions that we do. So as part of that effort, I recorded 4 so far, possibly more in the future, but I've already done 4 sort of getting started with meditation videos. And the way those are structured is it's kind of 3 parts in each video. It'll be a short guided meditation and then a short talk about the technique, and then another guided meditation that's a little bit different but adds on to those materials. And so I tried to build that with the beginner in mind. So those 4 episodes kind of get slightly deeper into the meditation as you go through them. And hopefully they're a nice, accessible, inviting on-ramp for people who aren't sure what to do about meditation, but are kind of curious about sticking their toe in the water, seeing how it feels, and seeing if that feels right for them to keep exploring on their own. So yeah, hopefully if you listen to those, you get something out of it. We'd love to hear back from you. Send us an email, respond on the Reddit, whatever the case is for you. Love to hear what your thoughts are about the meditation content and if that's something that I should do more of on the podcast. So enjoy.
Ask not what
In this video, I'm going to talk to you about getting started with meditation, which is often the hardest part. We'll do a short meditation that I'll guide, and then I'll talk a bit more about the practice of meditation, why to do it, and how to get started. And then we'll do another meditation to practice some of the things we've talked about. So when you hear a bell, that means start the meditation. And when you hear another bell, that means stop the meditation. So to get started, try to find a comfortable way to sit. Establishing comfort with the body is the important first step with any meditation. So take your time. Make sure, however you're sitting, in a chair, on the floor, wherever, that your body is comfortable, that the posture it's in is safe and relaxing, and that you can stay relatively still for several minutes at a stretch. So finding some comfortable posture for the body. Sitting in a chair myself, I like to keep my feet flat on the floor. I like to keep my back mostly straight and aligned with my neck. Relax my shoulders and arms. Allow my hands to rest naturally in my lap. And once you've found that comfortable posture for the body, making an effort to keep the body still and relaxed in that posture, making an effort not to fidget or move unless you absolutely need to. Establishing some comfort and stillness with the body encourages our mind to follow the body's example and to also settle down and get still. So once you've established that stillness with the body, taking a few deep, relaxing, refreshing breaths, really trying to feel the breath fill up the lungs, and trying to notice the physical sensations of relaxation that come with the exhale. Taking 3 or 4 really intentional, full, relaxing in and out breaths. And then allowing the breath to come and go naturally, but keeping a very close eye with the mind on how it feels to breathe in and out. The physical sensations of the movement of the breath that let you know you're breathing in, that let you know you're breathing out. This is the initial meditation anchor, the first thing to pay attention to. And you're just trying to keep the mind with that movement. Keep the mind alert to what the breath is doing, to how the breath feels. You may notice it in one particular area or in several areas at the same time. Typically, the middle line down the front of the body is where you notice the breath somewhere, whether it's in the nose or the face. The rise and fall of the shoulders or the chest. The expansion and contraction of the torso and the belly. Just trying to notice physically anywhere you can notice the movement of the breath and keep the mind with that movement. You may notice a distraction come into the mind, a thought about the past or the future or something else. And every time you notice that, just gently bring the mind back to the breath. Those distractions will happen over and over and over again, and they do not mean that you're doing the meditation wrong. The fact that you notice the distraction means you're doing the meditation right. That is part of the practice, noticing the distractions and gently, again and again, however many times it takes, bringing the mind back to the breath. Trying to stay with the movement of the breath, trying to stay comfortable with the movement of the breath. And just like you allow the body to get comfortable and still, the more you're able to bring the mind back to the breath and notice the movement of the breath, you're allowing the mind to get comfortable and still. This is the initial basic setup for any meditation practice. Get the body comfortable and still. Establish a comfortable way of breathing. Keep the mind with the movement of the breath as you breathe naturally. And notice as the mind begins to settle and calm itself as it follows the breath. So that basic guided meditation is a simple way to do any short meditation practice. I like to compare meditation to physical exercise. So meditation does for the mind what any kind of exercise, when you do it regularly, does for the body. You want to keep the body healthy. You want to be able to move the body in ways that are useful to you in life, and you want to keep the body strong and healthy in a way that allows you to do the things you want to do in life. The same thing is true for meditation and the mind. If we don't take care of our minds, if we don't regularly exercise our minds in healthy ways, we can develop unhealthy habits in the mind that are not good for us. So the meditation is like an exercise or a training that allows us to keep the mind in a healthy way. And just like with physical exercise, there's no one size fits all for what type of exercise people need to do. Some people lift weights, some people jog, some people swim, some people do yoga, some people play a sport, some people just go outside and throw a frisbee back and forth with their friend. Whatever type of physical exercise you find that suits you, that you enjoy doing, that allows you to get out there and do it regularly, often, that is the kind of exercise that allows you to keep your body healthy. The same thing is true with meditation. You want to start somewhere, try some kind of meditation, but just like with exercise, the first thing you try, the first way of doing it might not be the way that's going to suit you for the long term. So it's important to pick something to try, to start to try it, to notice how it's going, and then to make adjustments based on what you're noticing. So for exercise, for myself, let's say, if I start with body weight exercises, just doing body weight squats and push-ups and ab crunches or whatever, that may be a good place to start, but it might not be in line with my goals long term. Maybe I want to get a lot stronger faster. And so body weight exercises aren't going to cut it, and I need to start lifting weights, lift heavier things to get stronger faster. I can't know that that's what I need to do until I've started that initial practice and noticed how that's going. Right? So you start somewhere, you notice how that's going, and then you build on it or adapt or make changes based on what kind of results you want to see. So the meditation for the mind is very much like any kind of physical exercise for the body. It's a very general term, meditation, just like exercise is a general term. Try different things, experiment, notice how it's going, and start to figure out what types of meditations work best for you. That initial meditation that I led us through a minute ago is sort of like a general stretching or warm-up routine for getting the mind into a place that's good for meditation of all kinds. So even if you end up trying a different kind of exercise for yourself, you may stay with the same stretching and mobility routine that helps you warm your body up and get ready for exercise. That first meditation where you're getting the body comfortable and still, you're finding and establishing a comfortable way to breathe, and you're trying to keep the mind on the movement of the breath for a few minutes. That initial setup is a good home base for just about anyone for meditation. So I recommend starting there. Those basic steps. Find a comfortable way to sit, find a comfortable way to breathe, try to keep the mind on the movement of that comfortable way to breathe. And doing that for a few minutes is a great way to get the mind into meditation. Once you get to that point, you can start to add different practices and do different things with your meditation. But getting used to that initial setup and getting a comfortable establishment with that setup is a good place to start, which is why I like to start there. So my recommendation, this is a getting started with meditation video. My recommendation, just like exercise, is as often as possible, preferably every day. So start with what you think you can keep up with every day. That may be 3 minutes, that may be 5 minutes, but really set the time bar lower than you may think you need to, and see if you can keep up with 3 or 5 minutes of meditation every day. You may want to think about when and where you want to do that. Simplest option may be as soon as you wake up, just sitting on the edge of your bed for 3 or 5 minutes, trying the meditation. It may happen later in the day. It may happen before you go to bed at night. Experiment with different times, but try to find a time that works for you where you can spend at least 3 or 5 minutes trying these basic meditation practices, and see what results you get. If you keep up with it for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, start to notice the effect that that meditation has on your mind. Are you able to get calmer faster? Are you able to notice when your mind is getting stuck in an unhealthy thought loop? The meditation allows you to keep track of what the mind is doing. And when you're able to keep track of what the mind is doing, you're able to make quicker choices about ways to think about yourself, about ways to engage with the world. It gives you more freedom in the sense that it gives you more opportunities to make different choices about what your mind is doing, which is basically what freedom with the mind is all about. The ability to make a choice, to do something differently when you notice the way that it's currently going on isn't working for you. That's what freedom with the mind really is about. That ability to know when a choice is available and to make a good choice, a choice that you know is good for you. That's really what the benefit of the meditation is, in short. So that is my recommendation, not a requirement, a recommendation. Try to start meditating on a daily basis. Pick a short amount of time that you can manage, that you can keep up with day after day and not feel like you're getting burnt out, and try to keep it up and see how it goes. Okay. So to close, we'll do a second meditation. This time I'll go through the same steps of setting up the basics, establishing the posture, establishing the comfortable breath, staying with the breath for a minute or two, and then I'll move into a survey of the senses, which is another great way to just get settled and get oriented and feel grounded in the meditation. So same as before, one bell to start, one bell to stop. So again, finding that comfortable posture, making sure that the body feels safe and relaxed and comfortable, and trying to make an effort, once you find that comfortable posture, trying to make an effort to keep the body still, to not fidget, to not move around, to try to stay perfectly still, other than the movement of the breath. Once you've found that comfortable posture, taking a few intentional, full, relaxing, refreshing breaths, noticing how that feels to take a full breath. And then allowing the breath to become natural and smooth, and noticing what that movement feels like as you breathe in and breathe out. Sometimes people get a little bit bored with the breath, If you're just trying to stay with the breath, people find it boring and the mind tends to get distracted and think about other things. So it's good in meditation to have useful things for the mind to do. So one useful thing for the mind to do is to survey the different sense fields. And you can start with sights. You can have your eyes open and just notice without looking around everywhere, just kind of having a soft gaze in front of you, noticing all the different things in your visual field, all the different objects you can notice, different lines and colors, shapes, textures. And you're just making a quick survey of all the different things available to you in your field of vision. Once you feel like you've noticed all the things that are available to notice, you move on to the next field, sound. What sounds can you hear from where you are right now? Try to separate all the different textures of sound. You may hear an air conditioning unit running, or your computer humming. Maybe there's just a soft or quiet ringing going on. Noises outside the room where you are. Cars outside, planes flying overhead, birds and animals, people. Whatever sounds happen to be in your environment, just making a survey of all the different sounds available. You can also notice where all the different sounds are. Your visual field is right in front of you, but the field of sound goes in all directions. You can notice behind, beside, in front, above, below, all the different directions. Moving on, you can notice any smells or scents, perhaps just the absence of any particular smell or scent. Just trying to feel the breath in the nose and notice if there's anything you can smell. You can move on and notice tastes in the mouth. Maybe coffee or whatever your last drink was, whatever your last meal was, toothpaste, chewing gum, or, like the nose, the absence of any particular taste. Just notice what the mouth feels like. And then you can make a survey of the body and its sensations. You can start at the bottom of the feet or at the top of the head, wherever feels easiest for you. And you're just going to make a scan all the way through your body, moving slowly, deliberately, part by part, noticing any physical sensation at all that's available for you to notice. Tingling, itching, vibrating, aching, whatever types of sensations are available. Pressure, coolness, warmth, tension, any kind of sensation. And as you move through the body, you may get to areas where it feels like you don't notice anything. Just pause there for a moment or two. Sometimes after being still, like say on my leg, if I feel like I don't notice anything and I stay there for a minute or two, I may notice some subtle sensation that wasn't obvious at first, like the touch of clothes against the skin. Very slowly, part by part, just moving your attention through the whole body, trying to notice any physical sensation that's possible to notice. We're not doing anything or fixing anything about any of the things that we notice. We're simply observing, making a mental note, and moving on to the next area. Just like with the other sense fields, just making a survey of all of the things that are available to notice. The movement of the breath may be one of the more obvious feelings you can notice. But there will be other things too. So once you've gone through all the 5 sense fields, you can also make a quick survey of thoughts. What are the typical thoughts going on in your mind right now that are tending to distract you? Maybe some particular thought keeps coming up and up again. Just notice that. Notice that that's just like a sound, just like someone who's having a loud conversation nearby. That's just a thing that's happening to the mind. You don't have to identify with it. You can simply notice that that's going on and try to move your mind back to wherever you really want it to be. You can go back to the breath, noticing the movement of the breath, or you can start over and make another survey of the senses, whatever feels most useful to you. But this is just one more thing that you can do with meditation practice. So that is how to get started with meditation. I hope you found it useful and perhaps enjoyable. I encourage you to try to start doing a daily meditation practice, see how it goes for yourself. And I look forward to more conversations about it with you.